In this video, I'm covering the Beldam and why her looks change so drastically throughout the movie, even though she's trying to make Coraline have this false sense of security. Hello there, friends and family members. This is the Fangirl. I'm Megan. And just when you thought I couldn't milk any more videos out of the Coraline series, here's another one. Oh, but hey, I have some important questions for you guys at the end of this video, so if you could kindly stay tuned and help me figure out the future of this channel, I would appreciate it. But honestly, I love Coraline and I adore picking this movie apart with all those nitty-gritty details. This movie is a film studies masterpiece. Although I do really feel like I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel for ideas to talk about. I mean, I've done over 30 videos on Coraline. I'm getting close to number 40. So, in an attempt to keep everybody happy, I'm gonna open the door for your questions for anything that maybe I didn't explain well enough or you want explored more deeply. Problem is, I don't always see all of my comments, and with the changes coming to YouTube in 2020, a lot of my videos could end up with their comments disabled, including my Coraline ones, because YouTube just says it's a cartoon, so no comments. I don't know yet how that's gonna work. So if you have a question, I invite you to send me a letter and I will answer it if I can. And in fact, today's video is due to a letter from Sarah M. from Anchorage, Alaska. Sarah writes, I was wondering what your thoughts were about the Beldam and Coraline getting thinner after each visit to the Beldam's lair. Do you think the Beldam got skinnier after each visit because her magic was draining? She was slowly turning back into her true form, or she was slowly starving to death? I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't want to make a video about it. But I do want to hear your opinion. So, Sarah, I am here to give my rather lengthy opinion. All right. And this is a really interesting question that I don't think I would have made a video about on my own. Really, I think the topic is up for debate and there might not be one solid answer. Neil Gaiman, the original author of the Coraline book, he really likes to be as vague as possible in his stories, and sometimes the answer is there is no answer. It's all a supernatural mystery. Ooh. I love you, Mr. Gaiman, but But as to the question of why the Beldam gets thinner throughout the movie, I think we can pull enough out of the movie to at least come up with a few possibilities. Keep in mind, the book and the movie are two totally separate universes. I've tried to connect the two, but they're just too different. But at least in the movie, we see the Beldam start out as almost a perfect copy of Mel Jones, just with button eyes. And the Beldam just gets longer and thinner as the movie goes on. To me, it kind of looks like the Beldam is reverting back to her natural spider form. So her elongated body was kind of folded up and tucked away, sort of like Rapunzel's hair in braids. Yeah, do the math on that one. I've been trying for years. But the Beldam packing that all in gave her this illusion of being just a little bit chubby like Mel. But the real question is, why would she do that? Was the Beldam changing just gratuitous for the audience to know something was wrong? Or is there a deeper answer? Well, my darlings, you're on a theory channel, so of course deeper answer is where we're taking this. There are two really interesting factors to consider here. One is that the Beldam's last victim, the sweet ghost girl, happened about 50 years before Coraline moved into the Pink Palace. Assuming that the Beldam doesn't have multiple doors that go to multiple places, and double assuming that she hasn't taken any other children during that time, I would imagine she's getting a little desperate. If my previous theory is right, and the dates on the candy jars correlate to dates that other victims were taken by the Beldam, then we're looking at her last three victims being from 1921, 1936, and 1960. 1921 to 1936 is a 15-year gap, and 1936 to 1960 is a 24-year difference. And if it is that simple, that means 1960 to 2009 is a 49-year span. Unfortunately, we don't have any concrete evidence on what the Beldam is or what she requires to stay alive, but 1960 to 2009 feels like a huge stretch of time for the Beldam to be childless. It's also interesting how the Beldam has to disappear to rest several times in the movie. I've had other explanations for that, but it could be a sign that the Beldam's powers are dwindling and she's using up the last of her magical reserves to try and catch Coraline. Although the other interesting issue is that when the Beldam takes Coraline's parents and she's going through the tunnel to save them, someone who looks identical to Mel Jones, right down to having normal looking eyeballs is at the end of the tunnel saying, "Come on, come on," or something like that. And Coraline rushes down to get to her mother. Well, as we know, the mother turns out to be the beldam in disguise, with human eyes no less, and she morphs into the elongated version of the beldam, just sort of like this, "Gotcha, you're stuck now." It's almost spiteful. "Haha, you've been tricked by an ageless being, young person. I'm so proud of me." But if the beldam is at the point where her magical tank is all the way down on empty, and she's using everything she has left to try and nab Coraline, where did she get the energy to lure in Mel and Charlie and then transform into a perfect replica of Mel? If we take the movie at face value and ignore my previous theories about the Pink Palace limbo, none of that adds up. Either the beldam is starving with very limited powers left, or she's able to do whatever she pleases whenever she pleases. It just doesn't make any sense to have it both ways. So the beldam could be starving to death and she's just on her last legs, but I don't get that vibe from everything else she's doing. I guess she could have also used up all of her magic throughout the film and now she's kind of stuck in the other world to die. But also, come on, what reason do we have to believe that a demon-like creature can be killed off by something so simple? "Oh, I ran out of power and I died, whoops." That idea really doesn't flesh out either. Really, the more I think over the question, the more I want to double down on things I've already said, which might not be a gratifying answer, I'm sorry. But it really seems to make sense that once Coraline goes through the tunnel to the other world, she never comes back out. She just gets caught in this Pink Palace limbo bubble world that looks just like her reality. But because Coraline doesn't know that she's in a false reality that's filled with puppets controlled by the beldam, the other mother and the other world just starts to get creepier and just more shocking to be in. Why? Well, to freak out Coraline so that she'll go back home, which is really the fake reality, and then be so afraid of the other world that she uses that key to lock herself in the limbo world forever. If you're new here and haven't seen my more elaborate explanations, please do go watch the Coraline core theory. If you're not new here and need a recap, think of the other world kind of like a forest. Now you just get plopped into that forest, you have no map, you're totally disoriented, no idea on how to get out, but you know, eventually you'll probably find an exit, so you're already pretty confused and stressed out, but you're not panicked yet. But then something starts hunting you, and while that thing is hunting you, it gets you trapped in this deep ditch. Maybe you could work your way climbing out. Unfortunately, every time you stick your head out, you face certain doom because the thing hunting you is right there waiting. The ditch is the Pink Palace limbo. So what's gonna happen? Well, you'll stay in that ditch for the rest of your life because you can't leave the ditch or you'll be killed, and you likewise can't escape the forest unless you leave the ditch. So now you're this contained, curated property. The problem is, though, Coraline doesn't know she's in the ditch. But at the end of the day, she's still not able to get home because she'd have to go through the other world to get to the real exit. Make sense? Yes? No? Maybe? Sorry? Since I believe the Pink Palace limbo is like a refrigerator where the beldam can cultivate her meals. Maybe meals is a bad term because I really think she feeds off the loving energy of the children. But the Pink Palace limbo allows her to store children long term, and just trying to frighten someone into being trapped there forever really kind of accounts for the beldam's shape and power issues going all over the place. It's all a controlled scare tactic to keep Coraline from realizing that she's trapped. So I hope that answers your question decently enough, Sarah, and it might not be reality, but theories are more fun. Send me those letters with your questions. Okay guys, today's derps are a little bit more serious than normal, but like I said, I have questions that I'd love to get your feedback on. If this is your first time with me, I do these derps at the end of the videos because some people for some reason like hanging out with me, so I put a mini video at the end to kind of chill with everybody. So the theoretical part of the video is over, but again, I'd love to get your insight if you want to stick around today. For the backstory, YouTube has been making a lot of changes lately, and this channel has been under attack since last year. Basically, YouTube decided they don't want to recommend my movie theories anymore, which is how I get most of my subscribers. And it wasn't like I did anything wrong. They just said, "Oh, senior citizens are watching and they're annoyed at conspiracy theories. So you know what? No more conspiracy theories unless people are directly searching for them." And even though YouTube denied it all when I asked them, I found news articles that said exactly what I just told you. Since I started seeing the decline in my statistics, the only videos that have done even reasonably well are character case studies and movie trailers trailer analysis, both of which kind of avoid the movie theory category. Of course, not every video is going to be a success, and that's true on every single channel, but I'm seeing about 19 out of 20 of my videos flop really hard. They're just not being given to the audience at all. And yeah, I know a lot of people have suggested just taking out the word theory from my videos, and I did that for most of them, like hundreds of them. And for about a week it worked, but what I mostly did was deranked my videos from all the theory search terms, which is where I get another large chunk of my audience. And that partner manager that YouTube sent me an email and told me to apply for, well, I never got one, so I can't get any help from anybody. Now, in January 2020, YouTube is going to be making some changes where bots are going to be going through the video catalogs and flagging everything that they think is appealing to children under 13. And those bots are supposedly going to be going after videos with characters that kids would recognize. So basically every video I've ever made. And I've heard some people say that the bots are going to be scanning the background for any kind of toys. Meaning, even if I'm talking about something like sexual assault, the YouTube bot might go, hey, I see some Steven Universe characters in the background. Flag this as being for kids under 13. Now, any video that gets flagged will not be eligible for targeted advertising, which is a huge loss of income for a lot of us. And even more worrisome, the comments are going to be shut off. On YouTube, comments count as engagement. So if people are commenting, that's like a trigger to YouTube to say, hey, we should suggest this video to more people. And as far as I've heard, they have no plans to accommodate for videos who have that shut off. So we're just dead in the water. So most creators who feel at risk for being targeted are trying to pivot their content, and I might be one of them trying to do the same. And thank you for sitting through all of that backstory here, because now I'm finally ready for your feedback. So, issue number 1. Outside of animated movies or other types of movies that would be deemed for children, what genres or franchises are you guys most interested in? I've done a lot on Alien and Star Wars, Game of Thrones, superhero movies, and 99.999% of them just flop really hard. I get a few diehard fans who thank you, watch them, and then they just don't go anywhere, like nobody likes them as much. So please help me get a sense of what kind of stuff you're into, what you'd like to see me explore more deeply. And I'm hoping not to pinhole myself into one specific genre or franchise, but I feel like most of my adult AIM videos never quite seem to find their audience. So yes, feedback, please. What are your favorite genres and or franchises? Issues number 2 through 4. With all of these changes, I'm trying to decide whether or not I should supplement movie talk with other types of videos. I know a lot of channels do audience building videos where it's more like this as a whole video, but I don't know. Like when I post those, I tend to lose a lot of subscribers. But I am considering doing like storytime videos. You know, those videos that are like the worst job ever or the worst best teachers I ever had. Just kind of get to know me things that would put me in a bigger presence as the fangirl the person over the fangirl the theorist or channel host. I'm so hesitant to do that though because I don't want to alienate the people who only care about movie topics. So issue 2, are storytime videos something you'd be interested in watching? Issue number 3, again, I'm kind of dabbling around in my brain trying to figure this out, but if you are really interested in storytime videos, would you watch them on a different channel? I've been debating whether these videos would be better to do on the Fangirl or the Fanily, especially since the Fanily is about to have to stop doing all the toy videos, which is like all of our videos, so I don't even know what's going to happen over there. Well, you guys will know about the same time I do, I guess. But I don't know. I guess I'm kind of really worried to make something that's very raw and genuinely me, and for people on here to go, ew, unsubscribe. I guess they're doing that anyways, though. But I would love to know for issue number 3, would storytime videos be something you'd be interested in watching here on the Fanily channel or just not at all? Which I guess is issue 2, kind of work back in here. Issue 4, if I do ultimately decide to do the storytime videos, do you prefer live action like this or kind of animated style? I really like the charm and relatability of the animated storytime videos, but I haven't honestly animated since 2011. I was only trained on one software that's extremely expensive. I do not still have it, and I've never done 2D animation. animation, so it could just end up being drawings that I'm talking over instead of full lip moving, body movement animation. So feedback on live action or animated, really welcomed here. My daughter Kyrie was all like, oh, just don't use a mouth on your character and then that'll save you so much time with lip sync. And I thought, hey, that's a pretty good idea. And then I noticed her watching this show called like, oh gosh, what was it? Let Me Explain? Is that right? That feels right. I think that's right. So yeah, please don't recommend me to rip off other people's videos. I'm not savvy about these types of things and I won't find out until it's too late. Thanks guys, I really appreciate you wasting some time to listen to me at the end of these videos. I know it probably sounds so whiny, but my stats are just dying and nothing I do makes it any better. YouTube is just making it really clear that they don't want my kind around anymore, and I'm pretty much running scared at this point with all these upcoming changes. Honestly, I don't want to say I'll quit YouTube, but I just don't know. It's not something I'm planning to do, but I left my job when my YouTube channel took off. So if the platform's gonna keep like terrorizing me and hiding my content until I can't make a livable wage anymore, I just don't know what's gonna happen if they push me that far off the edge, because I left my job with the expectation of earning income on YouTube consistently, and that hasn't been the case for almost a year now. Now, I'm really not trying to panic anybody or make you think I'm just trying to stop doing videos and I'm giving you like a slow ease into that. I really love making videos and getting to use my film studies training and interacting with you guys and just working on these projects that I really care about. But the audience has to be there or I just can't do it full time. So I really want to be as earnest as I can be while also not knowing a lot of information, because YouTube is keeping it all very vague. Although I do really recommend that you follow me on some other social media platform too. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, those are my main three. I've got links to all those in every single description. But I mean, really, I live in constant terror at this point in YouTube that I'm gonna log in one day and my whole channel's gonna be gone. Somebody's gonna say, oh, you said Mulan wasn't a Disney princess and that's hate speech, because that's how far they're taking the censorship lately. So not only do I have to contend with that and with copyright claims that are totally bogus, but now they're going to target videos that they think are aimed for children, probably without doing enough research to find out if that video is warranted as a children's related video. I consider this channel to be PG-13, but I can't control what the bots think. And the bots, just like when they were hiding theory videos, have the power to destroy me with no recourse. So if something ever happens to this channel, my plan is to upload my videos onto Facebook. But if nothing else, if you follow me on another social media platform, you'll at least know if something happens to this channel or if I have to move to a new location or if there's some new promising version of YouTube, like Tube Me, I don't know. Like if something like that opens someday and I feel forced to move over there, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram are probably the places I'll be able to relay that to everybody. And again, I don't want to scare everybody. I'm not planning to move. I'm not planning to leave, but I really don't trust YouTube anymore. They haven't cared about growing channels in quite a while, and the ones that they do care about have to fit in this narrow little box. And I've been trying so hard to just keep doing what I'm doing and block everything out, but there's been so many changes lately that only impact me negatively. And I'm at a point where I don't know what to do, and I'm hoping to just keep chugging through it and burst through the other side just fine and all the better for it, have all my stats return, but I don't know. I don't know. So far, nothing I try fixes anything. So again, I love you guys and I appreciate your support and your input and everything that you guys have done with me and for me over the years. I seriously do write all of your answers and suggestions for stuff down, and I get to as many as I can. And hopefully I'll be in a position where I can cover everything without worry of copyright claims or being labeled as for children under 13 or hidden because it has the word theory in it, but that day's not today, and I'm doing the best I can. Hopefully a billion more videos coming. And yeah, I'll just say I love you guys again and go, thank you so much. Well, family members, we're almost done, but I want to invite you to hang out with me in some other places. I'm on Twitter and Instagram as my own personal self, and I have a Facebook page too, but I mostly just post photos over there. And sometimes people say, hey McGann, I want to mail you something. How do I do that? Easy. Just click the About tab on my channel page, and my most current P.O. Box info will be right there. I also run another channel, The Family. It's really a hodgepodge channel where we might post anything. Oh yeah, and I also sell shirts and stickers and stuff with the Fanily and the Fangirl logos. If that is your cup of tea, I have a link in every description of every video. Finally, if you want to help out the Fangirl channel and make sure I'm putting out video essays for years to come, the best way you can help is by subscribing and watching more of my videos, whether they're new, old, whatever. Maybe even share one or two on social media, help spread the word. People who watch to the end of videos, like you, helps to tell the site, hey, this is a good video, we should recommend it to other people. So if you made it this far, leave me a comment of something like, hey, I made it to the end. Love ya. See you next time, family members. Bye.